Welcome to the Back to Life podcast, where we explore living well, loving well, and being well. I'm your host, Nicole, and I invite you to tune in for inspirational conversations to get you back to life. Let's get started. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Back to Life podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Green, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for our second episode. I am here with the fabulous Kelly Peterson, who is here co-hosting with me through the Friendshipping series. If you're new here, this podcast is about living well, loving well, and being well to nurture our mental health and return to living. Thus the name Back to Life. How you doing today, Kelly?
Hi, Nicole, and everyone else listening. So I'm so excited to be back and to continue our conversation about friendshipping. And the last episode was amazing, so I can't wait to, dive into today's topic.
Oh yeah, me too. So today's episode is called Friend-ish. And we're talking about the company that we keep. We're also going to be talking about why we need friends, how friendships impact our mental health, as well as the different types of friendships that we have in our lives. You ready to get started?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. First up, we all need friends. Why do you think friendships are so essential? I mean, is this like one of the most important relationships that we have?
Yes.
Okay.
So the thing is that humans, right, are naturally social creatures. We crave connection and belonging and being around other people. Even if you are an introvert, it's still having that connection to other people and others is huge, right?
Yeah.
Friends provide us with full-on emotional support, companionship, fun, security, and even a sense of identity.
Oh, yeah.
The friends that you keep around you, right?
Yeah.
They help us navigate the ups and the downs, and when we're feeling particularly like low or depressy, or we're feeling excited and we want to share about this joyous event that we've got going in our lives. Yeah. Friends are necessary.
Absolutely. Friends are like our chosen family. We choose who we invite into our lives. Friends can bring joy sometimes, reduce stress sometimes, and gives us a sense of purpose. Friends are just fun to be around, or they can be. And it's interesting how having good friends can make even the toughest times even more bearable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because it's all about having those shared experiences and sharing experiences with other people. And, whether it's celebrating, promotion or taking a new step with family or career, or celebrating milestones, good or bad.
Yeah.
Exploring solutions to problems that we might be facing, or, just venting because you had a really bad day. I mean, friends are there to share in those moments, which makes those moments even more meaningful or just kind of easier to manage.
Yeah.
And they really just help us kind of spread load, right? Like they help us take on some happiness or some joy or some excitement, or even the sadness or the anger or the frustration or depression that we might be experiencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's having those friends that are able to really work you through a lot of these events that are going to be really helpful in the long run.
Absolutely. And so now that brings us to our next point, where we're talking about friendships and mental health. So let's talk about how friendships can impact our mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. So, friendships can, right?
Yeah.
So having those supportive friends can help you reduce feelings of being alone or loneliness or the anxiety, right? And knowing that someone has your back really allows you to feel confident and comfortable, and it boosts your self-esteem, and it also helps you feel confident to really be resilient in situations or with problems or all the other things, right? And those supportive friends are kind of like having a safety net. And it really reminds me of that one Instagram meme, I think, and it keeps popping up on my For You page, and it's finding that group of friends that are there to lift you up, celebrate your successes without the need or use of competition with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're there, and it's especially, I mean, I'm sure you can relate this, the female relationships, especially like once you get into adulthood, and finding those friends that aren't microaggressive or passive aggressive or always kind of competing with you for successes, or like my day was worse.
But sometimes it magnifies as an adult, and that's like problematic in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and being able to find that group of friends that are going to be supportive of you without any competitiveness. Those are the friends that are going to be really super beneficial to mental health. And they're the ones that are going to help you carry the couch of life, right? Like they help you with the tough stuff, and they're there to celebrate when you get to the easy, fun stuff. And they are there so that things don't get too hard or things don't get too heavy, and they can stand in solidarity with you when you really both need each other.
Yeah, and like you said, it's never a one-way street.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes, we don't realize the impact of having someone on your side, someone in your corner, someone walking alongside of you. You know what I mean? We say things like my ride or die or something like that, but it matters. It matters, and it plays a significant role in how you show up in the world. So good friends can be a great source of comfort as well as stability.
Absolutely.
And especially if you didn't have that in your family of origin.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good one, huh?
Right. Fact.
They can also, help us cope, provide different perspectives, and encourage us to take care of ourselves, because self-care saves lives.
Self-care is important. Yes, I
know. But on the flip side, toxic friendships can have the opposite effect, and that causes stress and can negatively impact our mental health. I think what was that quote that you are it's a very sobering quote, but it's like you are like the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And that can be a very eye-opening reflection if you think about it, because it's kind of like, who's influencing me? Am I having an influence on them, positive or negative? So
well, and that ties into what the title, like, you are the company that you keep, because it's kind of, you and I were discussing the other day, I bring up the Shrek quote, right? Like, your friends are also, they're very much like the layers, right? Like, you need to figure out who you have closest to your core. And if those 5 people are always negative or always making judgmental comments, or
birds of a feather,
right? And then it's trying to figure out, where do all these other people fit within your onion of layers. And so it's really important to make sure that the friends that you're keeping close to you are those positive influences. And one thing that I do like to say is, but there's also very much different from positive influence friends and then just strictly like-minded individuals in a group.
The bubble.
Yes. Yeah. Because the people that are positive and they're positive influences, you don't have to have the same ideologies. You don't have to have the same faith. You don't have to have the same career, socioeconomic status, all those other things. You don't have to be alike in those things. And just because all of those things are different doesn't mean that you can't be some of the most supportive, best of friends. And it also allows you to gain different perspectives if all of you are open-minded to having maybe some difficult conversations. And those same people are also going to be ones that'll offer you their perspective in a healthy way and ensure that you stay open-minded.
Yeah, no, it is. And also, it is very important to have diversity in your friendships. And, I know we live in weird times now, the twilight zone that we call 2024. But and these conversations are triggering,
polarized,
extremely triggering, you know, in our society, unfortunately. Which gives me an idea for another episode, but but when you think about it, it's kind of like if you just are with people who like ice cream.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm lactose intolerant. So,
but
I get it.
You keep doing that, you know? But it's kind of like that's all you know. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. It's okay, you know, like everyone has different things that we cling to, such as, you know, whether it's about, you know, what you believe, you know, who you are, how you identify in terms of things. But if all you hang around with is people who are just like you,
vanilla
ice cream, basic.
That's it.
You know, how will you know anything else?
You have never had mint chocolate chip, my friend.
Yeah. If you sit up there and say ice cream is the best breakfast, lunch, and dinner, mm-hmm. how will you know that there are eggs and there's bacon and there's pancakes and I'm hungry right now? And
you know, done this for lunch.
Yes, exactly. No, but how will you know anything else, or how will you compare that? Yes, vanilla ice cream is the best thing ever. You know what I mean? It's like it has to be tested.
But that also kind of eliminates mm-hmm. the ability, like, okay, so you are lactose intolerant. I can't have ice cream, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I know that every single time I do, I'm physically ill.
Miserable.
And so it's, mm-hmm. okay, so is that the best for me? No. Mm-hmm. But does that mean that you and I can't be friends? I'll stock ice cream in the fridge for you all day long.
Yeah.
But
I'm not eating it.
Right. Right. And so that also, and it's being receptive to those conversations as well.
Sure. And sometimes, like I said, part of friendship is being
hearing the truth.
Yeah. And being able to, you know, give and receive, mm-hmm. you know, there's the reciprocity. So this leads to our final point. And let's talk about the different types of friends.
Okay.
Because there are some types of friends that we have that, like, one size does not fit all. Mm-hmm. And I think that, you know, when we were younger, mm-hmm. you know, we had a certain type of needs, like when we were in elementary school. But now as we grow mm-hmm. and mature, quote unquote, mature, you know, into adults, you know, we have different needs. And so our different needs can be reflected in a spreading out of different types of friends. Mm-hmm. There's a book I'm reading called The Life Council, and it's by Laura Tremaine. And one thing I appreciate about this book is she's talking about the 10 types of friends every woman needs to create this life council. Mm-hmm. And within that, these are people who walk with you, and they have a certain role in your yes. life. You know, we all have certain roles in each other's lives. So we can't just approach friendship as you're my friend and you're going to be all the things to me.
Yeah.
No, you're setting yourself up for great disappointment. Mm-hmm. No one can be that. You're not a pizza. Stop it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So, so what do you think about the types of friends, you know, that everyone has?
So the first kind of type of friend I think of is like the lifelong friend, right? Mm-hmm. Like the person you've, they know every single secret that you have. Mm-hmm. They've seen you through your worst days. They've been there to celebrate your happiest moments. They know everything about you. You might call them, you know, your sisters. Like, this is my sister.
Oh, sister friend.
Yeah. That's that's Aunt Sally. Mom, mm-hmm. you don't have a sister.
Yeah.
I do, but don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They're the ones that I think of, again, going back to memes, if you guys are together and she's got a boyfriend, I go up to him and I'm like, hey, you know what? I know for a fact, 100%, standing next to Aunt Sally on her wedding day. Mm-hmm. But can you say the same?
Yeah.
Those types of friends, the ones that they are always there, always will be.
Yeah.
They're like that deepest layer of the onion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even if you make stupid decisions, mm-hmm. they will still support you and they will help you bury the dang body.
Yeah.
But
they're carrying the shovel.
That's right. But they also don't fulfill all the other friends that you have, right?
Yeah.
They can't be the next kind of type of friend, which is your situational friend.
Yeah.
Maybe coworkers, neighbors, building buddies, other teachers for your kids' teachers, your other moms, maybe. That is okay. So you're friends in these certain contexts, not any deeper. There may be the little outer layer of that.
Yeah, and I think it's really important. Like I said, some of the types of friends that in the book that I'm reading, she talks about like the mentor friend. She talks about the business bestie. She talks about your ride or die kind of person, and then the person, the daily friend, the one who's there, in and out, the one who, maybe you can go the adventure friend or something like that. We have different types of people, in our lives because we're all different. We have different personalities and we bring different things. And part of this friendship relationship is sharing a part of who you are with another person or with other people. And so I think that's really important. And when we think about also like the mentor friend, I mean, that tends to kind of correspond with what like a business relationship. But mentor friend can also cross generations too,
easily.
For example, you're a millennial, right?
Yes, I am.
I'm Gen X.
You are.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you don't have anything in common or whatever.
Right.
It just means part of that mentorship is someone who has gone before you, and can possibly share some wisdom.
Absolutely.
Lessons learned and stuff. You know what I mean? Because somebody did that for them, or even if no one did that for them, they can pass that on. And I don't think I can see a 20-year-old hanging out with a 70-year-old, but you never know. The grandmother, I don't know.
Right,
what I mean? But I'm just saying there's always something we are learning. We are learning something from every relationship that we have.
Yes.
And so part of friendship and that mentor type thing is we can gain some wisdom, like I was saying earlier is, like I said earlier, it's kind of like if your family of origin,
provided you no direction of how to do anything with people or business or life,
was maladaptive.
Oh, okay. That's another word for it.
Was maladaptive, not very encouraging or helpful. The family that we choose, which is our friendships, you know what I mean, can provide that for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, and I think the biggest thing with like the mentor friend, it's easy to go towards the business because that is very much, I guess, palpable.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy to put a label on it. You go into this career and I found this mentor, but the deeper understanding of what the mentor is it's not just the developing systems and creating business plans. It is also, well, you know what, let me talk to you about this because this has been my experience.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to trust you a little bit more because you do have more of those in-depth experiences than I have.
Yeah.
And so it's building that mentor friendship is deeper than just the superficial business mentorship. But it's still very much like I go and I ask you for advice for certain things, not everything.
Exactly. And because like we said before, no one person can be everything to you, and they shouldn't, because it's not healthy.
No,
that's not healthy. But like we were talking about, we have activity friends, those people that you connect with and over shared hobbies and interests.
Yep.
Like a gym buddy, book club friend, that type of thing. And then there's supportive friends, and these are the ones like that will walk alongside of you, when times are hard, because it's really hard to find people who will be there for you in the rain.
Yeah, and during the middle of the storm.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't even get to the storm. Okay, I'm talking about it is raining and they're like, peace out.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the biggest thing with the supportive friend and the reason why a lot of us don't find them as easily is to get to that supportive friend status, you have to become vulnerable.
Yes.
Which gross, right?
Yeah.
I have to show this vulnerability to develop this.
You mean I gotta take off my mask? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And it's uncomfortable. No one likes it, but we have to get over that. But then it's also this fear that we're going to lose this person that is our supportive person, that is there through the rain, right?
Yeah.
And then we also have to take into consideration, just because you have that supportive friend, it's the two-way street, right? If I call you and I'm like, I'm going through it, and they say, I can't do that right now, I don't have the bandwidth to handle that at this very moment, can we talk tomorrow morning? You also respecting the boundaries in that relationship.
The boundaries have resurfaced.
The B word.
Yes, it has come up.
We've had so many 4-letter words: boundaries, vulnerability.
We haven't even got to the F word, forgiveness.
Oh, good. No.
Anyway, we've been talking about each type of friend brings something unique to our lives.
Yes.
And they all play different roles, but it's important to appreciate each type of friendship for what it is and recognize that not all friends need to fulfill all these roles. Like, just to sum that, they can't.
They can't.
And, also, just to reiterate, embracing the diversity in our friendships can enrich our lives in so many ways.
Yeah. It can.
It's just, yeah.
And I think there's also this fear of adding diversity within your friend group.
Yeah, because I don't know you.
Right. Well, and if, especially if you've got that ride or die that you've been friends with for so long.
Yeah. What about cliques?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like, who are you? You're going to ruin the friendship circle. You know? But it's like, stop. We're not 12.
We're not. and the harsh reality of it is those friends also shift and change throughout the chapters in our life too.
Yeah.
Those 10 people aren't going to be the 10 friends that you have in 10 years maybe.
No. And their roles can change in our lives, And I know in, further down in our conversation during this friendship series, we'll be talking about, a lot of those things. So that's going to be a really good conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's give them something to reflect about.
Okay. So I want everyone to take a moment to think about the different friends you have in your life. And I want you to think about how do each and every one of them contribute to your personal well-being? And with all of that in mind, are there any friendships that maybe need a little more attention or maybe a little more appreciation?
Or maybe they need to go.
You said I'm not allowed to say things like that anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it's like popped in my head.
Yeah. So they need a little more attention.
Yes.
Okay. So you can develop a plan.
Well, you don't just drop people just like, okay, boom, you didn't call me back. Bye.
No one said that ever.
I know.
But sometimes cutting people out of your life is a form of self-care.
It is.
If it is a toxic relationship and it's only either you're only giving or you're only taking or vice versa, then that's not a friendship that's going to be beneficial to you in the long run.
Yeah.
And any kind of abuse, control issues, or manipulation are never okay.
Oh, for sure.
So you can drop those immediately.
Yes. And that's another episode too. So, but that I think is a really good reflection to think about the different people that you've invited into your life,
the company that you keep
and the roles that they play.
Yes.
And remember, it's okay if some friendships change over time because we change over time.
If you don't change over time, you can reach out to us. We can either refer you to a therapist or we can help you out, because the whole goal in life is essentially to progress as a human being, right?
But it's all part of growing and evolving. So that's what we're doing. Yes.
And so realistically, when you focus solely on like the friendship topic, the whole goal and key is to nurture the healthy, positive relationships that you have with friends and other people.
Yes.
And then also recognize the value that each one of those relationships brings to your life.
Absolutely.
And the value that you bring to friendships, because you can't devalue yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Back to Life podcast. A big thank you to Kelly for being here again.
Thank you, Nicole.
And
it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found some valuable insights about the company that you keep. Remember, we are here to support you on your journey to living well, loving well, and being well. Until next time, take care and cherish your friends. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories about friendship. You can also follow us on socials and our websites for tips and inspiration. Info is in the show notes. Be well.